I told you, Stray. It's fine. I really don't mind the small room. After 2 weeks of traveling by horse-drawn carriage, the fact that there's a bed already exceeds my wildest dreams. Shame the train didn't take us any further. I wouldn't have minded another day or two. You couldn't have known we'd land right in the middle of a pumpkin festival thing, or whatever this is? We're lucky we even found a place to stay. And as unsanitary as this establishment is, it's nothing like the flock dormitory, trust me. Yeah, well, it means we'll have someone looking out for us when we sleep. Besides, the spider isn't that big anyway. It's just because the room is so small that it gives that impression. But I'm sure you wouldn't have noticed it in the ballroom that serves as your bedroom. Just a matter of perspective. What's wrong? You've seemed uneasy since we arrived. No, I clearly see something is bothering you. Stray, you know you can tell me anything, right? I see, and that's something we can deal with together from now on. I imagine that losing most of your ways of gathering information can make you feel like you're missing a limb, but there's nothing we can do about it. No use dwelling on what you might have known if you'd been able to prepare like usual. To be honest, I think it could actually do you some good for once. Because this is how most people have to live. You wanted to escape from your previous life, and this might actually be a part of it. I'm sorry, I really don't want to sound harsh, but, it's the same for me. I don't know anything but Cinder came. I never had to plan anything, and I won't lie, I'm a little scared at the thought of finally having to make my own decisions. I keep second-guessing myself, afraid one wrong move sends me to jail, or worse, back to the flock. No, this is the one thing I'll never second-guess. How scary the perspective of starting anew can be. Nothing could make me go back to the life I lived so far. I'd rather die than lose my freedom. I waited too long for this, and even if nothing went how I expected, I wouldn't change a thing for the world. It's only fair I be the one to comfort you for once. You've already given me so much. You don't have to cover every crack in your facade anymore. Be honest. With me and with yourself. There. It'll be okay. I promised we'd take each step together. And maybe our next step could lead us to something to eat? Well, if we're both starving, I guess we have no choice. Time to brave that jovial crowd to find something yummy. I don't think they serve food at this slum. And if they do, I don't want to know how it tastes. Or even what it looks like. Ugh. Come on, Stray. That could be fun. I'm curious what's so special about pumpkins that they deserve their own festival. Nuh-uh. No objection allowed. Don't forget who's the one holding your leash now. Okay, you were right when you said no one would pay attention to us in this town. But this is ridiculous. I didn't think it would take this much self-control. You know what I am. And in a crowd this packed, with so many people looking at everything but their pockets, it's really hard not to just let my fingers slip for a moment and grab whatever they find on their way. Well, that's the way I lived so far. It's not that I want to. More like an itch I'm not allowed to scratch. I have to be on my guard all the time, or I'll end up with my pockets full before I even realize my fingers are starting to cramp. I'm trying, really, but this street... So many inattentive passers-by. It's like forcing a dog to sit still in front of a butcher's stall. Except I don't drool. Yeah, well, you only have yourself to blame. If you weren't so comfy, you wouldn't have to deal with a bit of saliva on your shoulder from time to time. As if you really hate it. By the way, are we even heading anywhere in particular? 'Cause I'm getting hungrier by the second, and we already have passed more food stalls than I can count. What? I would be so happy if you shared a place you liked with me. But aren't you worried someone might recognize you? You never mentioned you were posing as a humble cattle trader. But yeah, in these more refined clothes with a different hair color and a whole new persona, it should be fine. Especially with how crowded everything is. You went that far? Then yeah, we'll be fine. Just a fake scar back then would have made you unrecognizable to anyone who spoke to you. So simple, yet so clever. Let me guess, Chapter 3 in the Assassin's Handbook? I see. Something you noticed about a client, right? People remember faces by their details. So something that obvious couldn't be ignored. I wish I were half as clever. I'm not putting myself down, I'm complimenting you. My opinion of myself is excellent at the moment, thank you. I guess I could brag about managing to put a collar on you. If that's not a commendable achievement, I don't know what is. Made you smile. We're both good for each other, Stray. When will you... Wait, why'd you stop? Oh, yeah, I almost forgot you were guiding us somewhere. So, this is it? The place you wanted us to eat? The twice-beheaded wolf. A name to remember for sure. So, are we going? The decor is something, alright. I didn't know you could pack so many stuffed game heads on a single wall. It's a miracle from the goddess it hasn't collapsed yet. And what even is that thing? It almost looks like a wolf, but something's off. I mean, can wolves really even be that big? A dusk wraith? You mean a shadow beast? A real shadow beast? They actually exist? Hey, don't make fun of me. Shall I remind you I never really set foot outside of Cinder Cave? So, yeah, I was convinced they were only a myth, like mermaids or elephants. Okay, now I know you're pulling my leg. You know, it isn't nice to rub it in my face. You've seen so much of the world, I get it. If you say so. By the way, how's your stuffed pumpkin? Sure, I'll take a bite. Oh. Stray, how could you betray me like that? That is truly unspeakable. I made the right decision sticking to something simple like this soup. I shouldn't be surprised that they have so many pumpkin-related dishes considering the festivities, but only pumpkin-based food seems a bit excessive to me. Yeah, I shouldn't complain to have something to eat. But I guess you didn't bring me here because of the food, or the decoration. At least I hope not. So, what's so special about this place? Oh. So it's just a well-known tavern where merchants swap gossip? You brought us here just to gather intel on what's happening in town? Just that I thought it would be something more... Nah, forget about it. What do you mean, the wrong question? Okay, if that's so important to you, why did you bring me here? Oh. I'm sorry. You should know I'm not as careful as you with words, but yeah. That is definitely a much better answer. I think it actually makes me even a little happy. Knowing you wanted to share one of the only places where you felt at ease at the time, that isn't something to overlook. Thank you, Stray. Even if this place isn't exactly what I expected, that's actually much better. It's comforting, knowing you still managed to find little pockets of serenity when you felt so hollow inside. And you sharing it with me is only the cherry on top. Stray? Are you even listening right now? Stray? What's wrong? What? I'm sorry, but what? How could you have even... No, it's you, of course. You would still eavesdrop even in the middle of a casual conversation. But your father might be in trouble, Rod? Really? Are we... But we just arrived. How could he have managed to be here? Do your co-workers use dark magic or something? Is that how it is? Meaning we never had a chance from the start? I'm not being ridiculous. It's a perfectly rational explanation for how you could have found us so fast. The only explanation, really. Common folk don't dabble in dark magic. Alright. Firstly, I don't think your family categorizes as normal people. Secondly, don't you use alchemy, like when you dyed your hair? Science, magic, I honestly don't see the difference, but... Wait, why are we even talking about that? Your father is here. Your family knows where we are. What the hell are we supposed to do now? You really think it might just be a coincidence? Still a better explanation than my nonsense about dark magic. Well, and I'm saying this with all affection. Fuck you, Stray. You should be ashamed for talking down to me like that. You know I still struggle with how you make it feel so easy to be better at everything. You really don't need to apologize. I know it wasn't your intention. That you're just honest with me. That you wouldn't be that honest with me if you really thought I was worth less than you. But still, you can be a little too honest sometimes, if that's even a thing. Knowing you're trying helps, yes. I'm sorry. You're not the only one who needs to work on themselves. And I still care about you. A lot. I know. At least we make a good pair. Two dumbasses who only thrive on manipulation and lies. I'm not saying I like it, but it's how things are. At least for now. Doesn't mean we'll have to stay that way. Well, I'm glad we had that talk. Really. But don't we have more pressing matters at hand? Like, will we still be alive before the sun sets, for example? Yeah, you told me that, but how could it be? I mean, you specifically chose Treble Rod because it's so far away. The Saffron Jubilee? Could this ridiculous celebration really be enough reason for someone as important as your father to show up? Or maybe does he have an odd passion for gourds? Is that what rich people do? Find the dumbest thing possible just to cure their boredom? Treble Rod is an important crossroads, the nearest from the border. So, you mean your father could really be here, like, on official duty? No. That would actually make more sense than your family already finding us, I guess. Believing that would certainly help me feel safer, that's for sure. But, so, are we just supposed to ignore him? Even the tiniest detail's enough for someone like you to catch a whiff of it, right? See? This is exactly what I was worried about. If we found out this quickly that he's here, it's not far-fetched to think something will eventually reach his ears about us. Even the smallest clue could tip him off. And I bet he's got a whole network of eyes and ears combing through anything remotely suspicious, doesn't he? That is to be expected. Well, if they're at least half as good as you, just acting inconspicuously will probably not be enough. We'll have to blend in even more. How do I feel about... Oh. Well, I guess a change of coloration could be something nice, actually. Might even be kinda fun. I guess I'm a little curious about that friend of yours. Stray. Anyone you could have dealt with but chose not to is a friend of yours. And considering that Apothecary didn't report you back then, I think it would be safe to assume they won't change their mind now. I suppose that was meant to be a compliment, but no, I'm not thinking like a you-know-what. I'm thinking like a crow. You're not the only one who had to learn to quickly read people to survive. You duped me, but that was a one-time thing. I don't usually get fooled that easily. And I'm sure your pretty face did most of the work for you anyway. Would I have fallen for you if... Oh, no. No. I categorically refuse to spend the rest of the festivities with a pumpkin-haired companion. Wait, was that an actual attempt at a joke? I may not have realized it before, but I think you've already started to change a little. In a good way. Make no mistake, I'll still very much get you back for playing me like that, but seeing you make such a stupid joke gives me a little hope. That maybe we really can adjust to a more normal life. Even a nice one if I dare to dream that far. But if we really can find it in a place like Treble Rod, please, tell me there isn't more festivities like this orange frenzy. I don't think I could take it. The Great Frog Bargain? Right, I'm almost afraid to ask. Oh no, I'm still very much intrigued, just... Please, tell me people aren't walking around in frog costumes. Are all countryside towns like this? Because right now I'm seriously starting to question your judgment. Well, if we have no choice, what even is this festival supposed to be about? A merchant who lost everything and still accepted one last trade with a frog? Sure, perfectly normal. Trading the clothes you're wearing while you're already freezing for a single drop of dew? That sounds dumb. Sorry, I'm just telling it like it is. Oh, I see. A magic drop of dew that finally brings spring. Let me guess. The merchant survives. Enough vegetables and fruits to feed the whole town. And of course, that town is Trouble Rod. A story about not overlooking a seemingly unfair deal? Sure, whatever. I guess that fits a commercial crossroads like this. Still think it's a stupid story. I'd have roasted the frog and eaten it. Life lessons don't mean much when your stomach's empty. Hey! You, of all people, don't get to tell me I should try to loosen up. You're the one who was eavesdropping while we were discussing things. I bet you're still doing it right now. Yes, you learned some precious info. But even if it paid off this time, I can't help but think it's still a form of paranoia. A useful one, but still paranoia. That sounded less harsh in my head. I'm sorry about that. I'm still truly grateful for everything you do to keep us from ending up as two nameless corpses in a ditch, but after having tasted that slight hint of freedom, I'm already certain this crow will never fly in the flock again. I guess a flock of two would be acceptable. Depending on what kind of bird would like to join, of course. A raven? Isn't that just a crow but better? Should I feel offended right now? Ravens prefer to fly in pairs? Alright, I'm sure you're just sweet-talking me now. But I don't mind. I really don't mind. Say, why don't we go pay a visit to that friend of yours right now? And then we could just enjoy the rest of the evening in the quiet of our room? Alright, I'm looking forward to it. I mean it, I'm always curious to discover new sides of you I haven't seen yet. And maybe that apothecary will have some embarrassing things to say about you.